Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Stark. This is Steve Sidwell.
Yes, sorry, yeah.
We have an important message for you. Crouchy just nipped out to the loo. We're in the pub, and we've been told to tell you that you need to hit subscribe if you haven't done so yet, but you love being part of this world and you enjoy the podcast. We need you to hit subscribe on YouTube. Isn't that right, Sid?
Yeah, listen. We love what we do. In this wacky world, we go off-piste. You bring us back into play. It's enjoyable. We know you love doing it as well. Listening in, watching in, keep focused and keep doing it.
Yeah, so be like Steve, subscribe well, and you can enjoy more of this fab content.
Hello and welcome to That Peter Crouch podcast, the Euro Club. Yeah. England are in a European Championship final. Chris Stark and Steve Sidwell with me. How are we feeling, boys?
You're a little wounded, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. So at the time, we're recording this podcast the morning after the semi-final, which I'm not sure is a great idea, but, at least I guess it reflects, I mean, amazing. What a night. What a goal from Ollie Watkins. There's a lot to unpack here. What a fixture this is going to be on Sunday. What a few days we're about to have. Well, how should we kick this off? Where were you watching the game, Crouchy?
We were in a pub. Like, obviously, I did manage to get out there. I was dying to go. Couldn't get out there. Obviously, we got a family birthday out here, so couldn't really miss it. But went to the local pub, which was in a marina, little Irish pub, really. And it was just perfect because it wasn't too busy. And it was, sometimes they can be packed. It wasn't too busy, just with friends and family watching the game. So I got to kind of take it all in, crunched a load of pints, and obviously that moment in the end by Ollie Watkins. Like I get quite emotional because I kind of put myself in their shoes when something like that happens. Any of these sporting achievements, when I looked at Ollie Watkins' face, I was thinking, imagine being the person to score that goal. Like, and it kind of gets me emotional because I'm like, it's just the best feeling in the world scoring a goal, but to score a goal of that magnitude just felt so pleased for him. I had the pleasure of going up to interview him at Villa recently. Like, he had such a good season, and he was asking me so many questions about playing for England, and he's not been to a major tournament, and he was kind of so inquisitive. So I kind of knew how much it meant to him. So to see that go in, I was so pleased for him more than anything.
Yeah, it just looked like his face when he celebrated. I loved that it looked like this uncontrollable joy, just this explosion of happiness.
Yeah,
it looked like, rather than we see quite a few cool celebrations and it's all calm and collected, and it was just good to see someone just running and, and just ecstatic.
We watched it at the Box Park, didn't we, at Wembley? And
which, by the way, I've got to apologise to Sid's quite early doors on this, because we're at Box Park in Wembley, and that place. It's great fun. Like, it's great to watch football, throw the pints in the air, everything like that. It's great. It's a great atmosphere. And at one point, me and Sids have to go up on stage and just do like a little Q&A sort of thing, and just part the build up to the game. But everyone's having such a good time, right? They're just a few pints in. They want to hear the tunes, all of that. So we're on stage and sort of jabbering away, and you sort of hear the crowd, getting a bit louder because they just want to crack on, just talking, So I thought, all right, well, I'll stop asking Sid's questions. And then I stood there and I was like, I didn't really know what to do. So I said, Sids, do you want to sing the Only Fools and Horses theme tune? And at that point,
he threw me under the bus, you couldn't believe it, and he put it on me, and I had to do it.
He was so good, Crouchy.
So
he was so good.
It was good.
How did it go down?
Yeah, it went down well, to be fair. We got on going, and it was like read the room situation, wasn't it? It was similar to Isle of Wight. They don't want to listen to us chat. They just want to get some songs in, get beers, throw beers. So we finished on that, and we went upstairs. We watched it in a private room upstairs at Box Park, but could go down into the mix as well. So it's the first time I've done Box Park for an England game, and I have to say I'd go back in a heartbeat.
It was great fun. You know, when at the end of the game, Sid's went like right into the mixer. So he went running down the stairs, was like, I need to get involved in this, and just jumps, like literally just jumps into the crowd. And then he's there, like I've got these videos on my phone of Sid's just absolutely having it in the middle of Box Park. It was, Crouchy, you were missed, mate. It was good fun.
Yeah,
it was good fun.
It was a good one. Just on that one, on Ollie Watkins, he'd done an interview, didn't he? Ollie Watkins saying when he was on the bench that he said to Cole Palmer, when we come on, you're going to set me up and I'm going to score. How mad's that? And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And think about how much grief kind of Gareth Southgate's had through this tournament, right? Number one, we're in a final. And number two, you know, the winning goal was he took off Kane and Foden, which was, you know, a big call. Put on, you know, Palmer and Watkins, and obviously they both contribute to the winning goal. I even think that, like, the Watkins shout as well, Tony's done nothing wrong. Like, I think that was a big shout. You know what I mean? He could have put on Tony and gone, you know, he's done well. He's created problems and not let anyone down. So to bring on Watkins just shows, I think, like, you know, what the game needed was probably a kind of a fresh pair of legs who someone could run in behind and finish. So, yeah, I think they were two big calls from Southgate.
Well, massive. And you've got to give him praise.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it'd be great to get him on the podcast at some point and talk through the mind frame on these decisions. And yeah, I mean, fucking hell, it might be coming home, boys. Like, it's just keep reminding myself this morning. But what did you think of, you know, when you say about that substitution though being quite, well, it was an important substitution. But for those lads to be stood there as part of that double substitution, do you think when you come on with another player like that, there's a bit of a, I don't know, we use this phrase, a bit of siege mentality. There's something quite nice, I imagine, about coming on as a pair rather than individual responsibility and feeling like you two are going to come in and affect the game.
Yeah, I think, I've said it before, these players that are on the bench, they're desperate to come on. You know, they're not scared. They're not worried about what the press are going to say. They want to come on. They want to change the game. They want to affect the game. And you can see it in their play straight away because every one of them has made a difference. They've affected the game, which is ultimately what you want to do when you're a sub. You want to come on and make an impact. So, and I think with the criticism that's happened in the early stages, I think they've built a siege mentality in that squad. I think they've gone, let's let this noise motivate us. Yeah. And then now they're the ones laughing at us because everyone's now back behind them saying, oh, Gareth's brilliant. This, you know, how much has the tune changed now from when we was playing in the group stages?
I've been in that situation. Like, I know that, like, we said at the start of this podcast, when we started the Euro podcast, it's like the people that can win this tournament for us are the substitutes, are the people that are coming off the bench, the finishers, if you like. Obviously hate that term. But they are, because, like, if you think about it, the ones who scored the penalties, like Cole Palmer, Tony, you know, Trent, Alexander-Arnold the other day, and of course Watkins and Palmer having a massive contribution. I remember, like, for me, when I was playing, like when I was on the bench, I felt like all the pressure's on the starting 11. It's like, you know, we're not playing well, and then you can only kind of do better when you come on, if you know what I mean. I think that was the mentality I had, and I felt that there was far less pressure on the substitutes than there was on the starting 11. If you look about that, like we did the golden generation in 2006, and it was Beckham, Lampard, you know, Gerrard, like all those players had so much kind of the weight of the nation on their shoulders. So when the substitutes were coming on, it was a bit more freedom. Do you know what I mean? It was like, can you change the game and be the hero? And that's what we're seeing here as well. But like you said as well, the squad though, like they look harmonious. They look like they've created this all that outside noise happening, and they're just kind of, you know, staying together and getting the job done. But, you know, let's see what happens in the final.
It's so good to get Crouchy's view, isn't it? Because obviously we're watching it as fans. Okay, we've not been anywhere close to playing for England. Crouchy's watching it as a fan as well, first and foremost. But he's been there. He's been in the tournament situation. So when he says it's a bit emotional, knowing that he's got that far, but they've got further and closer now to bringing something truly magical.
Yeah.
It's wicked to hear it from, especially from Crouchy. You know, like they're saying, you know, I'm watching it. It's an emotional thing for me. It's like we're all fans, but Wicked to hear that.
It is, yeah. And it's like you're saying, Crouchy, about Watkins wanting to get all that information from you previously and learn from your experience. And it feels that you do have a group of players here that really do respect the England teams that have gone before them and have learned a lot from, I don't want to say mistakes, but experiences in the past.
Yeah, I think quite often you see a little bit of a bitterness sometimes from older players thinking, quite often you're like a bit of jealousy, if you know what I mean. I think with this group of players, like every single one of them, like since we work in like the TV and stuff like that, you speak to them, you talk to them. There's not one of them that I dislike or wouldn't have a beer with. Do you know what I mean? They're all good lads, and like I really want them to do it because they're good people, they're great players, and they're on the verge of eclipsing what every single England team has achieved since '66, which is absolutely incredible, really. And I genuinely think we get over the line with one, we can go on a run and start to continually reach finals, because, like I said before, I was speaking to Lee Carsley and Ashley Cole with the under-21s, talking about the players that are coming up, even behind this group. We've got a rosy kind of future, and it's quite exciting to kind of be involved in and watch.
Mate, I thought first half, I thought we were comfortable. I thought we controlled it. Second half, we lost our way a bit. Obviously, substitutions then made a difference, didn't it? But still an improvement, wasn't it? As game and game has gone by, to go into the final out now on the back of that, it's got to be confidence, it's got to be high.
Yeah, full of confidence, I'd say. I thought Kobbie Mainoo was unbelievable. Honestly, like, the lad's 19. I couldn't believe his performance. I just thought he's got hold of the ball, the confidence. He was flicking it around corners. To me, he doesn't look like a traditional, like, obviously not. He's not. He doesn't feel English. Do you know what I mean? It's like the way he plays is like a Spanish player. Do you know what I mean? He's just taking the ball in, comfortable in any situation. Similar to Foden in some ways, but just the way he plays was just with a flair and an ability and a confidence and a freedom that we just haven't had with England. Do you know what I mean? It's like 19-year-old kid just coming in playing with that kind of freedom. Same sort. I just thought he was magnificent. Saka, for me, has been the most dangerous player that we've had in the tournament. Foden will look much, much better as well. I thought John Stones probably had his best game. There's so many great individual performances. And of course the players come off the bench and do it as well. So there's lots of good factors, but I am worried in the final against Spain, I have to say.
Foden, I loved seeing the amount Foden was shooting from outside the box as well, and just the confidence there, and just a real have a go. I mean, as we've said, previous games would have been criticised for shots on target, and just seeing Foden just every opportunity and got so close.
Yeah. I think that it was more fluid because Harry Kane was dropping deeper, wasn't he? There was times where he was coming into midfield, and then that allowed then Jude or Foden getting up high up the pitch, getting shots off. Even Harry was having shots from outside the box. We looked much more like our old selves in that game. There was glimpses that we thought, like we're back now. So, but you're right, Crouchy. I think we need to be at it to beat Spain. I still think, man for man, our squad, I wouldn't change anyone from our squad for Spain. I know it's a big call, but I think if man for man, if we play to the best of our abilities, we will beat Spain.
These next few days, there must be, Crouchy, give us an insight in the sort of waiting around for something like this. And
it's all the build up. Obviously, I never played in a European Championship final. I never played in a World Cup final, but I did get to a Champions League final, and that kind of like waiting around, and it's kind of like every single day now until the final, people are talking. It's front page news. It's the the headlines, the news at 10. It's global. It's huge, and you just kind of block it out as much as you can. You just want the game. I think the players would have want to play it as soon as possible, because there's so much kind of noise and chat before about the team and who's playing, and I think it's gonna be incredibly exciting. But as a player, you just want to get it out of the way. Really, you just want to play it as soon as possible.
How does it work on the match day as well? So 8 p.m. kickoff. Will they be having a little nap in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a standard, mate. It's the old kip in the afternoon. Up early.
It blows my mind. This does. By the way,
I struggled to kip in.
I did too fair. I was always okay. I'd get up. So let me tell you the day, right? You get up, you'd have breakfast in the morning. After breakfast, you'd probably go for a walk around the grounds, maybe a stretch, a little loosener. Then back to your rooms for a little bit. Players get massaged, maybe kind of stay up for a little bit, like in that little period. Then have lunch, and that period from lunch to pre-match meal will be like, I think you'd probably have lunch about 1, and then pre-match would be about 4:30. Is that right, Sids? 4:45. So you'd have like 3 hours to kind of have a kip there. But like when you are kind of in your bed, but like I'm thinking about the stadium in Berlin, thinking about all the England fans out there, and then you're just tucked up in your little bed. Thinking like I could be the hero. You know, it's so hard to sleep because the adrenaline's pumping. And also you're so hydrated because you hydrate through the day, drinking so much water because you obviously want to be hydrated for the game. So you're up every 5 minutes and you're having a piss. So, so hard to sleep. Plus the buzz of it all. And quite often, you know, when we were away with England, like, remember being in Germany, I think it was Cologne. I was trying to get a kip, and when I peeked out my window, we were in the middle of the square. It was millions of England fans, like, climbing up lampposts, you had flares going off. You just peek out like that and go, fucking hell, trying to get a kip here.
We are going to take an army out there. I mean, flights have already gone through the roof now. People are already thinking about driving over there, getting a flight to another country to get a train across. It's going to go absolutely.
Are you
bizarre.
boys out there?
What are we saying? Are we gonna try and get out there, Chris?
You going, Crouchy?
The pod will be represented out there. We're trying to get sort it all out now, but we will be out there in some capacity.
I think I'm allowed to say this, but I've been invited to DJ for the players if we win, for a bit of
an after party,
like a party thing. Yeah, which look is unbelievable. Like, it's really nice to be invited to do it. But I've got a situation with my passport. Like, I haven't got one currently.
Where is it?
So I've got all that to deal with today.
Expired?
Well, I lost it. So I applied for a new one a couple of weeks ago, and it hasn't arrived yet. So I just thought, well, I've got to somehow make. I need a passport. Otherwise, I'm not.
You're not doing
like gig of a lifetime.
Can you imagine that scenario, right, where you've been asked to DJ at the players' party, potentially with the European Championship trophy in the room, and you fucked it up with your passport? Can you imagine?
It'd be classic podcast, wouldn't it?
How do you prep for that? Because you've obviously got to go there in the mindset that if we win, is it the same set if it's win or lose?
Let me talk you through it, Sid. So I've got my mother-in-law's 60th the night before, which I've said I'll DJ at. So two very different.
Same playlist.
Same playlist. It'd just be exactly the same. But what I'd like to imagine I do is go there nice and early Sunday morning, and then I'm going to copy Crouch's routine there. So I'm going to have a little nap in the afternoon.
Nice.
But God no, I don't understand how it works because it's so late. So if it goes to extra time, I assume the party won't be on till like. I mean, do you really just go all night at these things? You guys?
But if these boys win it, they're going to go through till Monday. Whatever
even if you lose it, like Sid, you know what it's like. We couldn't sleep after any game, let alone a European Championship final. Win or lose, you can't sleep. You cannot sleep. So obviously, it's not going to be going off if they lose, but they're still going to be around. You can't just go to sleep after a game like that, no matter win or lose.
Yeah, and there's talk of like it's not all confirmed, all this stuff, but it's there's talk of a party on another day potentially as well. But I guess as a podcast between the three of us, we'll find the cracks in this thing, and we'll get right involved.
Of course, yeah,
wherever we can. Crouchy, I just know at some point I'm going to see footage of Crouchy in the stadium.
You know it.
You just know he's going to pop up.
With the retro England shirt as well, I can see it now.
The draft. Gets in anywhere, this boy.
We touched on Southgate. Sids, do you want to I think you sent me the video of the police officer. We should give him a little mention.
So yeah, there's I don't know whether people have seen this. It's a clip going around of a police officer in Germany, and the England fans have spotted him, and he is an absolute ringer for Gareth Southgate. A ringer for Gareth Southgate. And they're singing all around him. The videos are out, and Southgate, you're the one. And he's just got this lovely smirk, isn't he, on his face? Because Crouchy, have you seen it? He looks like him, doesn't he?
So good. He's an absolute ringer. And I love the way he's just smiling. Like, you know, when you see good-natured fun like that, like, you know, too often we've let ourselves down at major tournaments, but, you know, the police and the fans are enjoying, everyone's enjoying themselves. You can see his mate behind actually filming it all. It's so good. He's obviously a policeman as well, filming it all. He's having a smile, and he's an absolute ringer for Gareth Southgate. It's a belter.
He's in full Riot gear as well, this officer. He's trying to be professional, isn't he? So, yeah, imagine if Gareth come out. Imagine if Gareth dumped the cream short sleeve zip top and come out like that.
Oh, full Riot gear.
Full Riot gear in the final.
I mean, it sends a message, doesn't it?
All right, let's get into, obviously, the final and Spain. It's time for some predictions with Paddy Power's big game of the round. Of course, it's England-Spain. Reminder, Paddy Power of a completely free bet builder on this game. The odds are, right, Spain, 29-20. So 10 gets you £24.50. And England are 12-5. 10 gets you £34. So Spain are strong favourites to win it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they have won every game so far in the tournament. So
scored 2 goals as well, in an average of 2 goals in each game.
I mean, they were frightening against France. They blew them away. I mean, it was so good to watch, and they have got some absolutely world-class players. So, yeah, they deserve to be favourites. This is probably the first game that we've got into not favourites, which will, I think, suit us. We know we're the underdogs in this, I think, generally.
Yeah, and do you think the players will, in a way, respond well to that? You know,
yeah.
Not saying it takes the pressure off of sorts, but, you know, they see it for what it is, and perhaps it leads to this attacking mentality that you boys are saying we need.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about it. So I feel like, imagine it goes to penalties. We've got some top penalty takers there, but imagine it's like Ivan Toney taking a pen like that to... That, I think that's a statue, isn't it? Of him looking the wrong way next to Bobby Moore. Literally, like looking. He's looking at Bobby Moore while he's taking the pen outside Wembley. I can see it now.
I mean, if is there something to be said for hoping it goes to penalties? Like, we do stand a good chance from what we saw before on that front.
Yeah, and I think that plays into our hands. The further it goes, we don't need to win it in open play or in extra time because of how they dispatch them pens. But yeah, I'm slightly worried on this game, as you would be, as you'd expect. I back us. I think we're going to win. I'm going to throw my prediction out first, if that's okay. I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
So this is all in 90. This is in 90.
This is in 90 minutes. Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw, and it's going to go to extra time and penalties. I think. Yeah. That's my prediction.
Yeah, the biggest threat for me is obviously either wing for Spain, Williams and Umar. I just think like absolute class acts, aren't they? So good. I think we keep them quiet. I think we can win it. I'm not backing against England now, and I think it's only 1 goal either way, and 2-1 served me very well in the last game. We haven't touched on that. We'll touch on that after, but obviously that was the correct prediction in the last game. So I'm very good at this. Never done the forfeit before, and I think 2-1 England. I'm going
2-1 England. Yeah. Oh, this is so hard because also I want to make a prediction, but it doesn't mean I'm not supporting England. Mm-hmm. So it feels like if you don't back England in this, you're being unpatriotic. But I'm going to say 90 minutes. I think it's so tense, and I think when you're saying a goal either way, I agree with you there, Crouchy, as well. But I think in the first 90 minutes, I think it's going to be 0-0, and I see this whole extra time situation kicking in.
Oh, Joe, I didn't even think of a 0-0.
I'm going to go 0-0, which is, come on, it's the most boring of all predictions, but I think a tense game.
Yeah, 0-0. 0-0 is boring. And
Has anyone ever predicted 0-0?
it was always going to be Chris Stark to predict the 0-0. If there was anyone that was going to predict
Has anyone
it.
ever put that on as a bet? Ever?
The thing is, as well, we all know if a goal was scored, you're fucked. So
Absolute shithousery of a bet that. Got a beige jumper on as well while he's making this 0-0 prediction.
So where are we at? 2-1, 1-1 and 0-0.
yeah,
Okay, all right, here's a reminder that Paddy Power will be boosting a bet of my choice as Crouchy's Euro special. For this game, I'm going for England to win, Kane to have one or more shots on target, and Declan Rice to commit one or more fouls. That's my bet builder. Paddy Power are going to boost that. If you fancy getting involved, go ahead. You can find this in a special section of Paddy Power's site. Please bet responsibly. T's and C's apply. Hey guys, Crouchy here. Subscribe, please. Right, today, Sids, we're gonna try and recreate Zlatan against France, 2012. Now, I'll be honest with you. This is when I was younger. This is a bit of my fault. I used to enjoy these, and I used to practice them constantly, like the kind of scissors. It's not. I'm not what I used to be, you know. And that technique-wise, I'd fancy myself, but I'm worried about the landing now.
so you're
used to worry about
saying
landing.
that old age has crept up and now you're just worried about the afterthought.
Well, it's
rather
just
than...
I used to just consistently do this over a kick,
Yeah,
and
I've
then
seen it. I've seen it many times. Your eyes light up. I've seen your eyes sort of go, this is a bit of me.
Even in training, but then I'm slightly concerned about the recovery period now.
Yeah, it's he doesn't score tap-ins, does he,
No,
Zlatan? You've scored spectacular goals. This is your forte, but we are over the hill at the minute. So we see how we get on.
Fuck it, let's have a go.
Just do a Zlatan, Crouchy, if you can.
To be fair, I had this.
We'll try. We'll give it a couple of goes. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Weren't the greatest of balls.
That's good.
Weren't the greatest of balls.
We got one.
2 out of 2.
I'm in pain here.
Back in the day, you would have done that. You're hanging off.
I ain't got it, mate. It's gone.
I've got nothing left.
Oh. Yes.
That's low.
Oh, sorry.
And there's only Kevin De Bruyne in the Premier League who is better than him at what we've just seen.
He's giving it a go, to be fair. Come on, Sid, last one.
Yep.
Everyone's knackered.
I can't.
Oh, yes.
Yay! That'll do.
Oh, I feel really sorry for the lads because obviously when we decided to do this for the Euros, the idea was Crouchy and Sid's recreate some of the most famous goals from the Euros. And obviously we're recording a load of these at once and you see them over a number of weeks. Because I don't want it to look like this is all we've done today and the boys are knackered. But it's really starting to take its toll. Like if you think of the players that you've recreated the goals for so far, it's an insane list.
Yeah, well, my groin was hanging off a little bit before that.
Mind you, that was your bag, wasn't it?
Well, I'd like to, what's annoying is that that's why I could do that all day, but I don't
Do you know what? I know you.
feel comfortable doing it now.
It's that one when you land, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking like now, I'll go for it. But I've got one in me.
So I'm thinking,
it could be
before
that, could be mid-on.
before that ball's coming, I'm thinking about landing. How am I landing?
That's what I'm thinking. Rather than the
the goal.
technique.
Yeah.
Whereas before, when I was younger, I just used to do it.
Well, let's talk about the goal, the original goal.
Yeah.
Rate it. What are we saying?
Oh, it was a great goal.
Great goal.
finish.
What's
I mean,
Zlatan's goal?
Yeah, Zlatan's goal.
Yeah. Well, talk us through the technique, though. You've done it many times at Anfield and, you know.
Loved it. I used to love that one. But yeah, my eyes used to light up when you go to the byline and you hang up. I always think it was like a free shot. You know, right? Because if here you expected to score there, no one's expected you to score, but if it does come off,
Yeah.
you know, you got that one forever. So
there's a technique to it, isn't there? Because when it comes in, you sort of throw your left leg up first to get the balance, and then your right leg then swings at it.
Yeah.
Whereas I haven't got the left leg to come up. I just sort of go with my right straight away.
I remember I used to like jump, and then you'd kind of like your left foot would be off the ground, and the other will come over it.
Did a manager ever tell you boys to shy away from that on the basis that probably percentage-wise it would have been easier to knock it onto someone?
No, for me it's like a shot to nothing. It's like when obviously when the cross comes in, like you're going to head it, right? And that's a percentage play. But if you go in and it comes behind you, you know, they're either on the break, or if you try something, you know, if you go over the bar and you regroup, you it's kind of like you might as well have a go.
Yeah.
Another reason why it's an iconic goal.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the Zlatan. The boys. Boys in trouble. We've got 2 or 3 more to go. So we'll do another one next podcast. You're not sure? Might be retiring.
You just want to tap in.
What's going to happen is we're going to get to a point where the recreation of the goal is going to be done on
We're getting closer. We're going to get closer and closer to the 6-yard
or with
box.
pints in the pub and just talking through.
I'll just talk you through what you did.
We'll be good at that.
Because I'm not sure.
All right, let's see if we can do another one next week.
All right, lads, so what have you actually made of this Euros? Like, have you enjoyed it? You know, I'm talking about the whole tournament.
Yeah, I think it's been a bit of a strange one myself. I think although it's England, Spain final, and obviously France and the Netherlands got to the semis, I think it was wide open for any country to do a bit. I don't think anyone, apart from Spain, that have obviously won their every game that have blown teams away. I think it's been wide open for anyone really. I haven't really been entertained.
Are you not entertained?
I mean, what a quote.
Are you not entertained?
Steve Sidwell.
The Gladiator.
Not entertained.
Steve Sidwell, the Gladiator.
There's been the odd game that's been good, but I think overall, I don't know. What's your opinion? I don't think it's not blown me away this tournament. What I'm trying to say is,
I agree with you. I think it's an odd one that a lot of the, say, if you think of the last major tournament, and it was the stars, or all the big names in football performing and showing why they're the best, and it was kind of a strange one on that front, in that, you know, some of the biggest names in football didn't quite have the impact that was perhaps expected. And it's kind of made this sort of underbelly of other footballers that have really kind of shone through and have made names for themselves on this stage.
yeah,
It feels like, obviously, like Spain have got like kind of such fantastic young players, similar to England in the final, really. Like, it feels like, you say, kind of a breakthrough for some of these players. You know, not necessarily the global names that we've become used to. I think Mbappe was, you know, disappointing, let's be honest. Like, Belgium's players, obviously De Bruyne, and the same with Portugal with Ronaldo, you know, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, like players like that you just expected to shine, didn't really do it, you know what I mean? And I think that's sometimes how you judge a tournament.
Well, I mean, the 2 standout players probably are the one, especially the ones that have got to the final now. Mainu and Yamal, the 2 youngest players in the tournament, 19 and 16. That for me just sums how the tournament's been, and it's, as you say, it's been refreshing. It's been refreshing that the stars haven't performed, and it's given a spotlight to other players to come in and do the business.
And also, like, I know Sids hasn't been entertained, but I did find that you could tune into any match this tournament and genuinely not know which way it was going to go, and have a real sense of that. And I think I've enjoyed that about this tournament quite a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I thought Germany would go further, obviously. Belgium, again, disappointing. Portugal, obviously, you know, the Netherlands, I was knocking them out. I think that was semi was probably about right for them. But you know, even Turkey, Austria, you know, Slovakia, you know, the teams like that, like getting through. I mean, there was some surprise packages in there, but there always is at major tournaments. But I thought they were particularly good.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look at Georgia. At one point, they were so exciting to watch and, had potential to...
Well, the games against England, Denmark against England, Switzerland against England, they both perform well. So, look, it's the best teams always get to the final, and that's proved now, isn't it? England and Spain. So
yeah, I wonder what the rest of Europe thinks about how we've managed to get to the final in almost full missionary getting there. Almost the manner with which we've got here sums up the tournament. I think
full missionary.
Well, it is, isn't it?
We have been full missionary.
No flair in the bedroom, just full missionary.
No.
Oh, I see the old Danish flags. It's a shame that one went home, isn't it?
That's gone massive this week, by the way. If you know, it's a hard one to explain, but basically Crouchy's partial to something, and
the remarks have been absolutely brilliant. Eater Crouch, did you see?
But he did play through it at the back anyway, didn't he?
He did.
Very quickly, when that clip started doing the rounds, I know you're away with the family on holiday, but how did Ab see that? Did San Marino?
It's not been mentioned at all.
It's not been mentioned.
He's just completely bypassed it.
Brilliant. Well done.
All right. I've got a message here from Jamie. Do you want a message, right? This is a bizarre one, and I don't really know how to answer it. If Messi and Ronaldo swapped nationalities, would Portugal/Argentina have been more or less successful? Worth noting that Messi just reached another Copa America final where they'll be facing Colombia. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought on that straight away. That's the most pathetic question I've ever heard.
Since he's really not entertained. He's woken up hungover and grumpy.
It's not entertained.
Sorry, Jamie, who sent that
Wow.
in. Sid's can't be bothered
Jamie,
with this one.
what sort of question is that? I mean, how do you answer that?
Do you know what's going to happen here, Sid? Yeah, I can see your face getting superimposed onto the gladiators. Russell Crowe, mate, it's going everywhere. I'm telling you now, it's going to happen.
I'll take that.
I don't know how you answer this. What's the Gino De Campo quote, though? It's kind of like, if my aunt had wheels, would she be a bike?
My issue is here. There's always this underlying kind of undercurrent of like people from, because Ronaldo's kind of had a few question marks here, and then Messi's gone to another final. He's obviously a Messi fan, right? We all have to create this kind of battle between the two great, instead of just enjoying two absolute greats. You know what I mean? It feels like we have to kind of pit them together and go, oh, he's not done this, but he can't do that. He's better at him. Let's just enjoy them. They're both fantastic footballers, and instead of trying to swap them and belittling one of them, let's just go these two at a time.
I know, and obviously it's a hypothetical, but you have to assume that a lot of their successes come down to the fact that of the way they've been brought through their respective systems. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be more successful just because of the nature of the country. They're a product of what they're a product of their own country there. So I think even hypothetically, my argument would be both would be less successful because whatever's made them what they are now has led to their success, right?
Yeah, you're right.
We've got a message here from Tom. He needs our help. So he's a DJ, and turns out he's been booked for a wedding that clashes with the final this Sunday.
Okay.
And what he's basically asking is, can we step in and give some sort of message that he can pass on to explain that I get the impression he doesn't want to do the wedding, but doesn't have the guts to tell the bride himself.
Okay, so he's booked to do the wedding, a DJ set. He can't slip off because he's physically in front of everyone.
Exactly, yeah. So he's worried he's going to miss the game. But then I would assume, that wedding, I hate to say it's going to be awful, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a Sunday.
It's clashing with the final
It's
of
a
the Euros.
Sunday, it's 8 o'clock. The first thing that springs to mind is, just record a set and do like some kind of Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin.
That's a good
Jordan.
idea. Yeah. Do you know what you need? Do you know what you need to do? I think that's a really good idea. I think what you got to do, Tom, is go down the old marshmallow approach on this, or dead mouse. You know where they wear a big mask?
That's it.
It could be anyone in there, you know? So then pay someone else to turn up and DJ wearing whatever mask.
And obviously obviously have a recorded set and
Pre-mix
just someone
it all.
pretend that they're touching buttons and doing the records. Yeah, I think that's an easy way out.
Well, put the mop in and a helmet on, and just kind of pull some strings from the other room, like that.
Imagine being in the room next door and you're just pulling a bit of string. Yeah, they're still going.
I mean, there must be so many people that took the calculated risk and have been saying throughout the tournament, they'll never make the final. Don't worry, they probably won't make the final anyway. So we'll crack on with this plan for the weekend. And I mean, they're screwed.
Do you know what you need to do here? Take a leaf out of the Killers book. Did you see the Killers? Like seriously, right? So you live stream the match and then bang on Mr. Brightside straight after they win it. Like seriously, I mean, like that's an event. That will become like that. Killers, the people that were there, I've had millions of messages about it saying, you know, I know a few people who went, like and then like literally that moment will stay with them for the rest of their lives. I mean, they'll always remember where they were and what band they saw.
You got to embrace it. And I take it back. The wedding's obviously not going to be terrible, but you can't ignore the final of the Euros for your guests at a wedding. I mean, we've joked about it with other games, but you can't ignore the final.
I would love to see a massive screen at the front, everyone sitting down around the screen, drinks, people standing up around the bar, the bride and groom at the front, and just watching it and embracing it. That would tip off.
That's what it is. Like, let's be honest, right? You imagine you go to a wedding like that and you go, where were you for the Euros final? You'll always remember, you know, it was Carl and Deborah's wedding. Because he must be a Carl if he's not going to do that.
It's true. It's worrying that the DJ has to step in here on this whole thing. Although, actually, maybe we've misunderstood. Maybe they are planning on showing the wedding. It's just the DJ who's worried about not being able to watch it.
Okay, yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he might be doing the other room. He might be doing a room that people don't want to watch. You know what I mean?
That's true. But then what an honour to be DJing. Like, that's a cool gig to be doing after England win. Let's say they win this and you get straight in there.
Oh.
I would love that. Well, I might be doing it as well, I guess.
What's the first song?
I don't know. What should the first song be? Crouchy, if you just won the Euros, what song would you like to hear first?
We are the champions, Queen, isn't it?
We're the champions. Bang that on in their hotel. Is that a bit weird? No, it's good, isn't it?
No, yeah. Let's embrace.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, boys. Well, look, I don't know how we're going to cover the final on this podcast because we have no plan. But it'll be a whole mix of things.
I'd imagine.
God, there's going to be, listen, it's going to be big, you know. But we will be out there in some capacity. The biggest thing I just hope for is that this game entertains Steve Sidwell.
They're going to come back. One of them's going to come back with a trophy, put it in front of you.
Yeah. Are you not entertained? If we win that trophy, I've got to get a picture of it, holding it, saying entertained.
Also, Crouchy, very quickly as well, we've got to shout out the pub that we're in that have let us do the podcast from here. And they've provided a load of lovely snacks as well, which is going to help with the hangover, but we're in the Devonshire. So we need to give them a little shout out. Apparently, after the last record, by the way, last time we did the podcast, Sid's carried on. And I had to leave. Sid's carried on, had a couple more Guinness, and get this right, the Cause walked in.
As they do. Yeah, they were smoking. They was nice. They played.
Sid was entertained by the sounds of it.
They were lovely. They come in, they played Hyde Park the night before with Shania Twain, and they'd partied until 4 a.m. So they was coming here for lunch, and we finished the pod. They come and joined us.
I can't believe I missed this.
Pint of Peroni straight in for the girls. I was like, "You'll do for me." Let's, and then that was it. I had 5 pints and I went to the gym.
Was Shania Twain there?
She didn't come, unfortunately. No.
You had 5 pints and it went to the gym.
I had 5 pints and went to the gym. I did, I promise.
That should be your new anthem, Steve. Because what's that Shania Twain song, Crouchy? That don't impress me. So you drive a fast car. That don't impress Steve much.
Euro, European Championships. That don't impress me much.
It was a good afternoon. So there we are.
All right, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Come on, England. Hopefully we do it, and hopefully it impresses Sids.